This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is Vanessa Marshall, Harrison Dula from Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
Joining us today for a cup of coffee for our last Road to Celebration show. How about that? Is first Mr. Tom Gross.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back another week.
It is. You passed the audition. We're glad to have you back. It's going to be a lot of fun because we're so close to the big moment. So whenever there's something big and exciting in Coffee with Kenobi, you got to have Tom Gross, and you got to have the co-creator, Cory Clubb.
Thank you. It has been a road to celebration if ever been one. 2 years in the making. But we are definitely closer than we can get here, about a week out. We're getting excited. It's coming.
You know, I honestly think, and again, I love all the feedback on these. I think that part of the excitement for me of Celebration is because of doing the shows with you guys. Like every month, a month before we're leading up to that is very cool. It's very special. You guys help me get hyped. I know Colby Mead, we're looking at you, buddy. I know you and Dennis, Keith, were very excited from last week's show, and you reached out to us. So thank you for that. It's going to be fun. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about one major announcement as far as what's going to happen on the Star Wars Celebration show floor. More announcements for guests. We're going to do a live registration for panel reservations. And we're also going to talk about snacks, and we're going to go through our we're going to try to pick. All the panels look amazing. We're going to try to pick a top 5, each of us individually, to try to give you some options of things that you might want to think about for the show. Guys, first, let's talk about the big announcement, which was Celebration Live is going to be presented by Geico. And it's going to be back on the show floor from StarWars.com. And Andy Gutierrez is coming back, which is great. We love Andy. She's a good friend of mine in the show. So it's great to have her back, along with her co-host, Anthony Carboni, which is great. Kristen Baver from StarWars.com, another good friend of the show, and Christina Ariel, who hosts the High Republic show on StarWars.com. They're going to be up there, as well as Hector Navarro and Jordan Hembro. So, guys, that's huge. I always liked when you guys talk about watching the trailers and being out there on the show floor and seeing all the live announcements and excitement. So having them back, I feel like it's kind of like the nice icing on the top of the Star Wars Celebration cake.
It's a must-have to really see the show floor and have them interviewing cast members. And honestly, from past conventions or celebrations, if you didn't get into a panel, typically they would bring some of those guests onto that stage. So it's like a kind of a what you call it, like a curtain call. They're coming out answering more questions, shaking hands and things like that. So it's just like, it's so cool to see them in person. You're like right there. So even though you don't get in some of those panels, I think hopefully there's a good possibility you might see them on that stage just around after those panels and throughout the weekend.
So it was always so cool about the Star Wars live show, the live stage in Chicago, was you could be anywhere on the show floor and you just hear the rise of the crowd cheering or something, and you'd see people kind of making their way to that stage. It was like the center of the show floor. And you're right, Cory, you would see, the stars up there. It seemed like it was always, after they did a major panel or something. And so you could go there. And I remember seeing Daisy Ridley there. And, so many of them. Daisy's the one that was, in fact, I think it was Daisy and Kathleen Kennedy were up there on that stage at the same time. It was just a neat place to go when you're kind of needing some time, or you're crossing the show floor. You just stop by and see what was going on on that stage. So I'm super excited that stage will be back this year with more hosts this year than in 2019 in Chicago. So that'll be really cool.
So at Celebration Orlando, Cory, I'm sure you remember this. We were talking to Andy and we walked away, and not 5 minutes later, there's this big cheer. I'm like, oh, who's up there? Well, who was up there? George Lucas and Harrison Ford. And we were in the front row. So don't ever leave the stage no matter what. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Not exactly, but there's a lot of great, like if there's someone big there, they're probably going to show up on that stage. So it's definitely something to be very mindful and cognizant of
Yep.
Because a lot of great things happen, a lot of great hosts, a lot of great people. Again, I'm just thrilled to see Andy again. It's going to be a ton of fun to have that, because she was such a big part of Coffee with Kenobi starting up with Rebels and all the celebrations.
I remember interviewing her at the first celebration.
That's right. That's right. She still does the intro for Coffee with Kenobi every single week. All right.
That's right. Yep.
Virtual panel selection and light speed reservations. Last week we said, hey, it's going to come out later this week. It didn't happen. There were some things that came up behind the scenes. I'm not privy to that information, but it didn't work out. But it's working now. I've got Cory and Tom on the show with me, and they have got their badges registered, which is very easy to do. You go to StarWarsCelebration.com. Right in the middle, there's a blue button that says register, right? In fact, I'll just click it right now. It says badge activation. Doesn't get much clearer than that. So you've done that. Now the two of you need to register for these panels, right?
Yes.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through live. Are you both on the Star Wars Celebration homepage?
Yes.
Yes, Tom, you are too? All right.
Yep.
So on the top right, you see those three little lines. Click that.
Okay.
And then see where it says explore the show. Click explore the show.
Okay.
Okay. You will notice in the middle, virtual panel and exhibitor shopping selection and light speed reservation. So click that where it says learn more. And this is where you do it. It says enter your virtual panel and exhibitor shopping now. So click that button right there, and you are good to go. So
I'm queuing it.
So while you do that, tell me what it looks like. Because what I see, because you're now in line. You're in line for Star Wars Celebration 2022 virtual panel selection. When it's your turn, you'll have 10 minutes to enter the website. There's a small little green person walking across.
That's me.
On my screen, they're over halfway.
Across. I'm at the end of the line.
Big sprint. Are you in?
Status is.
It says
it was green. It was green. Now it's gray. Oh, it's flashing. Oh, I'm in.
Mine says it is your turn.
I'm in now too.
Okay.
I'm not going to register, but I don't.
Oh my!
Let's see, because I don't have my badge. All right.
Okay. So walk me through this, Dan. What do I see? Let's see. I've got three columns. We've got Lucasfilm Studio Showcase on Thursday. We got Fridays Light and Magic. I see Mando a conversation on Saturday. Looks like it's got all the panels that we mentioned on the last show. Oh, I'm sorry, not every panel. It's the main show, and then it's got the exclusive Loungefly shopping. We have the Funko shopping. A couple Funko shoppings for each day. There's one for Saturday, a Sunday one. I see a Friday one as well. So we keep that in mind. If you have a specific day you're going to be there, make sure you click that day. I also see Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Funko and the Loungefly shopping reservation.
Right. As soon as you get there and you get into it, you get 10 minutes to pick. So while you guys are making your selections, I'm going to walk people through this. As you mentioned, you've got all four of the major panels for each day. You've got the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase on Thursday, May 26th. You got Light and Magic on Friday, May 27th. Mando Plus, a conversation with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on Saturday, May 28th. And Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 on Sunday, May 29th. So it says, for everyone, click here to enter this opportunity. You might as well click all of them. You could get all of them. You could get none of them. You could get half of them. You could get one. There's any possible combination. No matter when you sign up, you still have the same opportunity to get a chance. And I believe next Monday is when everybody's going to find out.
Yeah.
If that's the case. And then you've got the Funko shopping session, as you said, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the Loungefly one for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. So it's really, really pretty easy. And again, I think this is the absolute way to go because it alleviates the pressure of waiting in line for hours and hours and hours and then getting disappointed. At least this way, before you get there, you know where you stand.
So I got to the next step for the Mando. I clicked the Mando conversation and I got to the second page and it has me two options here. I have one option I need to start a new group or would like to enter myself. The other option is I've already have a group code.
So this would mean, if you do it before Tom, you're going to get a code and you give Tom that code and Tom will put that code in for you. Already have a group.
Oh,
that's how that works.
So if I want a friend to go with me.
Yes. So if you guys want to make sure you go on it together, then one person has to be the first person to do it. And when you get that code, you give it to your friend. And the example here would be Thomas Gross Esquire. And that's what he would do. Otherwise, you both just say, I don't have a group, and just see what happens.
I see.
What is a good selection here? Like, is it better? Are you better off to both try individually, or better off to like say, hey, we're going to go as a group and try to both get it, or both get denied? Does that make sense?
I don't think. Yeah, I think that's up to you. I think. I mean, I guess that's that's true. I guess if you're denied, either denied as a group, or you get accepted as a group.
So I would assume to go individually because better odds, right? I mean,
I'm no math person, but that makes sense to me. If the odds are good, like you'll get it and he won't, or vice versa, and then you guys can share the experience and talk about it.
I was going to say, like, I feel like if we both get it, then we're already going anyway individually. We'll just go together,
right?
And if not, in a group, we're not going as a group. Then I feel like
last time for this, all of us just did it individually.
Yeah, I did it individually. As the entry, what happened? Sorry, we're unable to find your order or a valid entry. This opportunity.
I just
did you have
any luck?
I entered my email. It didn't work.
The email that you registered your badge with?
Yes, sir.
Huh. Well, if that isn't, I would try again. But if it doesn't work, then I would email the Star Wars Celebration customer service, which I can get you that. In fact, I think is it Star Wars Celebration Expo?
Yes, it is Star Wars Inquiry at readexpo.com.
Yes.
There's also a phone number.
Could you repeat that again?
Sure. The email is Star Wars Inquiry at readexpo.com.
Okay.
And do you have the phone number?
Sure.
For local or domestic folks, it is 1-888-334-8719. If you're international, it is 203-840-5666.
Thank you. All right, Tom, what happened for you?
Well, I went in and I got as far as Cory did, and then I kind of just back out because I haven't really thought about what I'm going to click on yet.
Well, honestly, click them all. It's not like if you get one, you won't get the others.
It doesn't let me enter the my email to confirm.
Okay, let me try real quick here while we're doing this.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. All right. And I'm glad you said that because it's not like you should only pick one. If you're interested in all of them, click all of them because you have equal chance to make it or not make it.
Right.
So it's not like if you make one, you won't get the others. So it's not like you're choosing. There's no priority. It's just try for them all and see where the force takes you.
I'm still getting through any of these. Sorry, we're unable to find orders that are valid for the entry into this opportunity.
Oh, I got the same thing, Cory.
Huh? Yeah, I definitely find email and find out and see what they tell you. Because I will say as many questions as they're getting, they're responding in about 24 hours or less. So I think that's pretty good. And you've got until Sunday night at midnight to do this anyway. So I would email them as soon as we're done recording the show.
But right now, as we speak.
Nice. So that's kind of what it's like. Maybe you're experiencing some similar frustration or challenges. Hopefully it's going to work out for you. I'm optimistic that it will. Another thing that I think will help to enable your experiences to enjoy this, besides the virtual panel and the exhibitor shopping opportunities, is how you fuel your body when you are there.
Yes.
Let's talk really briefly about what snacks do you guys recommend taking with you? Because I think we talked about this last week. Greg Dickens had a great question about it. Our first celebration, we've talked about it several times. We were there for a long time, first day, seeing all of our friends that we'd never met before in person. And it was about 1:30, and Cory and I looked at each other and we said, we haven't eaten or gone to the bathroom all day. You get so swept up in the moment. You got to take care of the basic essentials. So what kind of snacks are you guys going to be bringing along?
It's funny enough. I got this snack from Tom himself from the Chicago celebration. And it is, I believe it's called a Take 5. It's like a chocolate caramel pretzel. I think there's a pretzel in there. And it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like chocolatey goodness that it's like a bite-sized little guy. And hopefully they don't melt.
Talking about Tom or the snack?
Both. But yeah, this was one that you picked up, Tom, and I just kind of fell in love with them. They're like, I don't know, they kind of give you a little boost of energy, and they're tasty.
I'm trying to remember what they're called. Do you remember what they're called?
Did you Take Five?
Take Five, yeah.
Oh, it is Take Five. Yes. And now they have like different kinds of Take Five. They got a Take Five made with Reese's peanut butter cup peanut butter, and they have dark chocolate Take Fives, which are oh man, hello. So like this is a situation where I think I'll leave the mixed nuts at home. And even probably like the heavy sandwiches, they'll leave those at home as well. Though, Cory, you had some success with sandwiches last time. They just get kind of mushed in the bag and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the protein bars, the Take Five bars, even just some little those little Hershey little bites. I can't remember what they're called, where it's like you get the Crackle bar and you get the dark chocolate and you get the milk chocolate and you get the Mr. Good bar.
Yeah. Like
a bag of those. And assorted chocolates. Just little things that are going to give you a boost of energy. But to me, more important than all of that is water.
Yep.
I just having that water with you. The last thing you want is to get dehydrated and have, you're kind of getting that dehydration when you start getting a soft, like sort of annoying headache. So if it kind of affects people differently, but for me, it's across the top of the head. When I start getting that headache, oh man, I know I haven't been drinking enough water, and I probably need to stop, drink water, maybe a little sugar in there, and move on. So those will be my definite nutrition pieces.
See, that's interesting. I would tend, and this is something because I've changed how I eat, and I've been working out a lot since last July. And one of the big things I've learned is that if you want to feel good for a prolonged amount of time, you don't eat a ton of sugar, if any. So that insulin boost, that insulin spike you get from popping some chocolate is fine, but then it wears off and there's a crash. You find yourself tired, you're going to lose energy. So I would tend to encourage you to stick with like almonds, peanuts, stuff like that. Maybe some pretzels with not a ton of salt, unless you're going to drink a bunch of water with that. I know Costco's got a lot of great mixes like that. There is a protein bar called Fit Crunch that is really, really good.
Not a sponsor.
It has not a sponsor. It has chocolate on it, but it's not heavy in sugar at all. In fact, it's very, very low in sugar, but it doesn't taste like a sugar-free thing. It's actually very good. High protein, low sugar. It's got a good crunch to it. You can get a bunch of those at Costco. So, and Costco's not a sponsor either, although I wish they were. So those would be some tips that I would have. Cheez-Its are good too. But definitely water is a great tip. So I don't know. Some people are like, hey, bring some M&Ms and all, and that's fine. I just, for me, like if I get that insulin pump boost, and I'm not a diabetic by any stretch of the imagination, but I just know how my body works, having paid close attention to this stuff, especially over the past year.
You know what we do grab sometimes, even for the kids, we're out and about or at a theme park, even at Disney, we'll pack Slim Jims as another one. That has kind of a different taste. Just gives you a little bit of protein. If there's protein in those, I don't know. It's like beef jerky.
For sure.
They're easy to pack. They're small, and they're individually wrapped, so they really can't go bad necessarily. So something different. I like your idea about the less chocolatey stuff, because you're right. I forget about that crash sometimes.
Plus, it melt. That can melt,
and they melt. Yeah. So, yeah. There you go.
An interesting thing that I usually recommend is people go to like a local convenience store or grocery store, something like that, right before. So, because what we did is we bought like that 12-pack of boxes of cereal and the thing of milk and plastic bowls and spoons.
That's right.
And we ate in the morning in our hotel room, and we had a lot of fun with that. But where the convention center is and the hotels in that area, I'm not sure if there are things in the immediate vicinity of that. There probably are. So I'm not sure if that would work as well this time or not. So consider it an option, but don't set your watch to it, because if you don't have it and that was what you were counting on for breakfast, you might be disappointed.
Hey, I've got an update for the celebration panel issue. I got an instant email back. So unfortunately, I said I've got a virtual panel error. And they said, due to the pandemic, we are currently experiencing high volumes of emails, but rest assured that they'll receive this message and they've got it in their queue. A little time to look up their order and issue and get back to us. So please allow 5 business days. We appreciate your patience. So just a note, like if you're not getting in today, which we're recording this on Monday, May 16th, keep trying. And because these panels do close on Sunday, and what was that Sunday? I forgot the date on it.
22nd.
Thank you. So don't sit on your hands. Get on it and double check, make sure. So yeah,
that's right.
Oh, I just got another email from customer service right away. So they're working on it. It looks like they have a reference and a case number for my request and my description submitted for the error that I'm seeing. So it's on a good track. I'm looking forward to hearing back from them.
Yeah, I think you'll hear back sooner rather than later. They've been really good or working with me on some stuff.
Yeah, well, it's just not me. A lot of people are in. It sounds like even Tomers having issues. So
yeah,
I am. I still am.
Exactly. All right, very good. So you bring your water, bring your snacks, all that good stuff. Any other little things that you guys suggest carrying around on the show floor to make for a more comfortable thing? I know we joked about this, but it wasn't funny at the time. We preached about bringing comfortable shoes, and then Tom forgot his. Tom is not going to forget his this time. He's actually going to staple them to his head in the morning to make sure. But besides, I mean, honestly, look, I get you want to wear your fun Star Wars shoes and blah, blah. As for me, I'm going to wear what's comfortable because that's a lot of walking. You're going to put a lot of miles on your feet. So go for function over form. That would be my suggestion.
Yes. Hey, I have a question for you guys because you've been to Anaheim for this show before. Shorts or long pants at the end of May?
So I've been checking the weather. I mean, because let me pull it up again.
Please.
Whether talk amongst yourselves, what are you initially leaning toward? I mean, I like to wear jeans. So
I'm a jeans guy. I will wear shorts like to the beach, and when it's very hot outside, I'll mow in shorts. But I typically wear long pants or jeans. That's my comfort level. That's what I like. So I'll probably wear jeans because that's what I prefer.
Sure.
But I would also say too, if you are someone who typically gets cold, feel free to layer. I think I had a Star Wars jacket last time. I might bring something similar as well, just to as you get in between panels, it gets warm standing in line or standing in a queue of people. But also, I think sometimes some of these other rooms can be colder and the climates can be up and down.
Yeah.
So if that's your thing, feel free to grab something as well to figure that one out.
So here's the weather. The 26th, Thursday the 26th, high of 79, low of 60, mostly sunny, 2% chance of rain. Friday the 27th, it is very, very similar. It is high of 80, low of 60, sunny, a 2% chance of rain. Saturday the 28th, high of 81, so 1 degree higher each day. Low of 60, mostly sunny, 2% chance of rain. And Sunday the 29th, 79 degrees, a low of 59, sunny and 2% chance of rain. So it's going to be pretty wonderful and pleasant. So I'll be wearing jeans and t-shirts out of it. Well, except for when I'm hosting. But for the other things, yes.
Hosting with the mosting.
Yeah, sounds like great jeans and t-shirt weather. That's great.
Agreed. All right. So any other things besides shoes that you think people should have on the show floor with you?
Obviously, we talk about backpacks, like a sling bag, a backpack. You're going to get some goodies. I know I've carried around a poster tube as well, because you'll get posters and handouts and whatever. So they're nice to roll those up, put those in a poster tube. Those you can just get really cheaply. I think you can, from a Kinko's or Walmart even. I will have those cardboard tubes. You can carry those around. Or something else I was thinking. I carry around a permanent marker as well. You don't know who you run into and what's going to happen, but, be ready to have someone possibly sign an autograph. Who knows? So just be ready.
A good tip. Tom, can you think of anything?
Well, I think we mentioned this on the last show, but I need to still get this, and that is a extra battery or a battery like a portable battery charger for your phone. I remember in Chicago, I always thought my phone had good battery until I got there. But I was using it so much for photos and videos and things that it was dying about halfway through. And I remember usually around noon or 1 o'clock, I was needing that to just plug it into that to that extra battery charger, but I can't find mine now, so I need to order one here pretty soon. I'm trying to think. You covered it. The marker was the thing that I was thinking that I might, that of the things that I might be like, oh yeah, I forgot. A marker. That was a good call on the poster tube. I don't think I had a poster tube, and they sell. Remember, they sell those clear sheets that you can slide your posters into, but those aren't always the most not comfortable, most convenient to carry around, where it's laying flat. Those are nice for travel, because it can lay nicely in the bottom of a suitcase or something. But so I'm glad you said that about the poster tubes. I'd kind of forgotten about that. So a comfortable backpack. I'll be sporting the orange Coffee with Kenobi backpack that we made famous in Chicago in 2019.
Classic logo. Yes.
That's right. The classic logo.
Retired logo.
Oh, and of course I'll have my CWK hat, and I'll probably have my Alliance hat. So don't forget about your ball caps, folks.
That's right.
That's must have gear.
The only other thing I can think, those are great tips. The only thing I can think of is bring some gum or a breath mint, because after a while, in tight quarters, your breath might be a little stinky. So
stank. It's gonna stank.
Your friends, of course. Now we'll all be wearing our masks, so maybe that won't be as much of an issue.
You can smell your own breath.
That's true. So maybe you can pick your favorite flavor of what you want to smell your breath like, and that's what you do.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So the masks, just to be clear, I'm just clicking on their health and safety. So masks are required.
Yes. That reminds me, the most important thing you should probably bring besides your wallet and your badge is your COVID vaccination card. If you are vaccinated, if you are not, then you, as we know, for health and safety requirements, please bring proof of a negative test. I'm assuming that to be a very recent negative test, and so that you won't have any issues getting into the event itself, and so you can maximize your experience.
I guess while we're on that topic, I bought a Grogu hand sanitizer holder for some hand sanitizer. That you'll see that hanging on the CWK backpack.
There you go.
Fantastic. I love that. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to share our top 5 panels that we are thinking about experiencing at Star Wars Celebration. This is Coffee with Kenobi.
This is Vanessa Marshall, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi.
We are back, and now for the second half of the show, we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite panels. So this is a hard one because they all look pretty amazing, but there's only so much time in the day, and you're only one person. So you have to be very, very choosy about them. Be at peace, because some of these lines will be bigger than others for the celebration panels. But try to prioritize. You're going to have to plan your day a little bit if you want to see some of these, and be aware of the amount of time it takes to walk, because it's a pretty big place at Anaheim Convention Center. So plan accordingly for that, allowing for bathroom breaks, running into people, all that good stuff. But Tom, why don't we start with you? Oh, you know what? Before we do our top 5, I just want to call out the main ones right off the bat, because those are the ones that everybody's going to want to go to. That's why we have the virtual panel. You've got Lucasfilm Studio Showcase from 11 o'clock to 12:30 on the Celebration stage. It's also streaming on the Galaxy stage and Twin Sun stage. This is where you're going to see, news about existing Disney Plus stuff. Maybe there'll be some announcements, maybe stuff from movies. I actually don't know about that, but this would be where it would happen, because it's the panel to open Celebration. Historically, it's always been focused around a brand new Star Wars movie. We don't have one this year, but this is where all the big stuff is going to be. Then you've got Mando Plus, a conversation with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. This one's from 11 to 12 on Saturday on the Celebration stage. And then you've got the other one that's the main one is on Sunday, Star Wars The Bad Batch, Season 2 from 11 to 12 o'clock on the Celebration stage. Again, that's on Sunday. On Friday is Light and Magic, something that we don't really know a ton about, but that is the other main one that is being featured as well. I think it's fair to say, guys, that we're excited about all of them. If I had to pick just one, I'd probably pick the first one because it has the farthest reach, and it's also scheduled to be an hour and a half, whereas the others are an hour.
Good point.
But these are all tremendous. If I was picked, and if I was in the lottery system and I was picked, I'd be happy with any of these.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how I felt in Chicago as well. I asked for all of them, and I think the only one I received was the Phantom Menace. And I'm not even sure. I didn't get the main stage on that one. I got one of the secondary stages. It was still a ball. It was still a blast. So yeah, I agree. I'll definitely apply for or reserve or whatever. I can't remember the word you use. All of them.
I mean, and the Mando one is going to be great too because you're going to get to see those two talk, and hopefully we'll see some stuff about season 3.
Yeah,
but if you can, like you said, Tom, if you can catch it on one of the side stages, like the Galaxy stage or the Twin Sun stage, those are great because you're still in a massive room full of people watching a big screen together and enjoying it together. So that's very Star Wars. And Cory, what about you?
I mean, Mandalorian all the way to me. It was the big pull, but you made a good point about the studio showcase because that's gonna be the one that's gonna, I think, feel like kick everything off. I mean, who knows? I think we have some really great interviews on that one too. So I don't want to say a tie, but I guess I'm gonna lean towards with Dan. The studio showcase is gonna be pretty fantastic, I think.
Yeah,
sweet. I can't wait to talk about them with you guys. Tom, let's start with you. My top 5 list isn't in any order. I have a whole bunch of honorable mentions, but I just picked 5 that, for whatever reason, just something neat. Some of these are very surprising because, I mean, we've got a lot of stages. We've got the Steam Classroom. We've got the Saber Guild Performance Stage. We got Star Wars Celebration Live. The Celebration Stage, the Collector Stage, the Fan Stage, where I will be the host. The Galaxy Stage, the Podcast Stage, the Star Wars Kids Classroom, the Star Wars Kids Stage, the Twin Sun Stage, and the University Stage. You've got a lot of options for your entertainment.
Yes.
Tom, what's the first one you have on your list?
So the first one I have on my list is, let me go to it. It is High Republic for Light and Life. That'll be on the Galaxy Stage at 3 o'clock. Where you're going to have the panel of authors: Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, all talking along with Lucasfilm's James Watt and Michael. Is it Siglain?
Michael Siglain. Yep.
For a conversation about the Golden Age of the Jedi. What's exciting to me is that last sentence in that description, including all new announcements and reveals for Phase 2 Quest of the Jedi. I mean, first of all, to be in a room with those authors, what was the name they gave them when they were creating this?
Project Luminous.
Luminous. All I could think was Illuminati. Project. I mean, so they're the people. Now I'm going to steal from another show. In the room that it happened, you get to kind of be there to hear them all talking about that. I just love that. And I'm really thoroughly enjoying this High Republic era and the storytelling that's coming from it. So that is one of my top 5.
Cool. I had a feeling that was going to come up. Cory, what is your first one on your list?
Yeah, no particular order. I'll just kind of rank or just tell them here. My first one on my list here, number 5, is the Mythology of Star Wars Behind the Facts and Fiction, pre-presented for our very own Dan Z on the University Stage. I was thoroughly impressed and had a blast last time we did this, Dan. And it was just exciting. I'm excited to see what you'll bring this time around. And the conversation, to me, it's less of a panel than more of, like I said, a conversation, and the fact that everybody gets involved. You're definitely talking from an interesting aspect of, the mythology behind Star Wars. There's so much mythology behind and how it connects to just old stories of back then to now, how heroes' journeys played out, all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited to see what comes about that.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's actually the
true,
first one on my list too, because I feel like I haven't promoted it enough. It's Thursday, again, May 26th from 12:30 to 1:30. It's one of the few times I'm going to get to step away from the fan stage and do this one. And because it's two of my great passions, education and Star Wars, being able to talk about them together. And I never know what I'm going to say until I open my mouth when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I've talked about it for years and written about it. So I kind of try to gauge the room and what I think might be the most interesting. I plan on it being interactive. I plan on treating everybody in there like they're in one of my classrooms, and you'll get a chance to share your thoughts. I mean, as time allows. I think the room has about 175 seats in it. So it's not huge, but it's, I think that's right. But it's definitely good enough as far as, no, it's 152 people in the room. So if you're interested in going, you're going to make sure that you want to get there quickly, because it starts when it does, let's see, from 12:30. So you're not going to, you'll be just when the other panel, the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase, as soon as that's getting over, run to the university stage.
Yep.
And that's where you will see me. But I'm excited about it because I love doing it. I love meeting people there and talking about these two passions of mine. Tom, back to you.
Oh, that was fast. Okay. I think my second, again, no order here, but I'm going to stick with the reading and the book aspect. And I'm going to go to Marvel Star Wars comics. That will be a little later on Saturday, 4:30 to 5:30. Just finding out what they've got in store for the Marvel Star Wars comics. I'm still trying to keep up with what's happening in all those stories. I miss some here and there, but really enjoying the crossover sort of storyline of the Crimson Dawn right now. And so I look forward to hearing what CB Cebulski has to say about the Marvel line and Star Wars. So that'll be on the Twin Sun stage, 4:30 on Saturday.
Awesome. I would be disappointed if you didn't have a very book focus.
I wonder why.
All right, Cory, your next one.
Yeah, so for me, it's the from a galaxy far, far away to a Disney park near you on a celebration stage on Friday.
Nice.
I'm excited to talk about what's going on with Disney Park, Galaxy's Edge, and the fact that Star Wars and Disney has become so intertwined over the years. It's almost like peanut butter and chocolate, right? So I can't wait to hear more about what's going on. I remember sitting when they first announced that Galaxy's Edge was coming to Disney parks, and so excited to hear that growth and over the years has been awesome. I love going to that place and experiencing that, and I'm excited to hear what will come out of this panel and see what's coming next. See what new things are coming from that team and those individuals.
That's cool. That's on my honorable mention because I really want to just drink all of that in, because I like the guys and girls who have created these experiences, and I just like, even if we get a hint of something that's going to come later, it's going to be fun. So I might be sitting next to you on that one if I'm not hosting something.
Yep.
My next one is on Saturday, May 28th from 1:30 to 2:30. It's called This Is the Way, The Mandalorian and Joseph Campbell. Here's the description on the website. George Lucas has often pointed to the influence of Joseph Campbell in crafting Star Wars A New Hope. Campbell's work continued to be influential throughout the creation of the rest of the Star Wars universe and still drives motifs in the latest expressions of the galaxy. Join John Bucher, creative director for the Joseph Campbell Foundation, in conversation with some of the most interesting thinkers in the galaxy as they identify and discuss Joseph Campbell's ideas in The Mandalorian. I'm actually hosting this one, so I'm stoked because I've never met John. I'm a huge devotee of Joseph Campbell's theories and beliefs in the hero's journey, and I know I've talked a lot about it in classes over the past year and a half, but I want to see what he brings to the table and what his team does, because I know I'm going to learn a whole lot. So I'm going to be sitting up there when I'm not talking on stage. I'm going to be taking notes. I'm really looking forward to this one.
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah,
I'm actually writing that one down as well.
Saturday, May 28th.
How did I miss? I think I'm looking at an incomplete list, or maybe I'm looking at an old list because I don't see that on my list here.
Mine's from the Star Wars Celebration website. Just
they've got a whole rundown of all of them.
That's my mistake. I am on StarWars.com. That's what it is. All right, so I'm looking at one that was announced.
You know where you registered for those panels?
Yeah,
it's instead of clicking that, click on the left. It says a list of all the panels. That's where you'll want to go.
Okay, well, everybody can disregard my top 5 because
if it's on the
working
fan stage, I mean, I'm assuming you guys will be there because rumor has it, guys. You know how in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when that female student is sitting at the front and she writes "Love you" on her
eyelids? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's Tom and Cory going to be sitting in the front and doing that to me the entire time.
Yep.
So that's
gazing at you.
You know it.
All right, so that was my next one. Now we're back to Cory for your third one on your list.
Yeah, I'm going to mention the same one that Tom mentioned, the High Republic for Light or Life on the Galaxy stage Thursday at 3 p.m. I'm excited to see what happens next for this phase 2 of the High Republic. I think it's been a great expansion into a lot of the books and kind of the literary side of things. So I'm excited to see where it is taken this phase 2 and get to know some of these characters. We mentioned we did our top 5 Jedi not too long ago on our Patreon show, and I'm excited to see where some of our Jedis will be headed.
Yes.
And Christina is hosting that. She was a great guest and a really cool person. I'm looking forward to meeting her face to face. So that'll be fun.
Cool.
All right, Tom, your next one.
All right, my next one. You guys, okay, so I do believe I will have to sprint from this one over to Disney for Disney After Dark. Is that what that's called?
Disneyland After Dark, yeah.
Disneyland After Dark, because this session that I'm looking at is from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening on Friday night on the Twin Sun stage. I will be the spirit of myself, as well as two individuals that I will dearly miss at this year's celebration, and that is Andrew Harrison and David Nicely and his family, because those are all people that I love playing Star Wars games with. And so from 5 to 6 on the Twin Sun stage is Let's Play Star Wars, a galaxy of tabletop games. And you're going to have Asmodee's Tabletop Gaming Studios, Atomic Mass Games, Fantasy Flight Games, and Z-Man Games talking about the process of making Star Wars games, bringing some behind-the-scenes secrets, which I love that stuff, and providing a glimpse of upcoming releases. Oh, you guys, it also says, bring a bag.
Bring a bag.
Even if I just walk away with dice or something, I don't know, whatever it is. But if it's not books, it's going to be games for me. And this I am totally pumped for, because I will never. So in Chicago, I went to the Fantasy Flight stage, or not stage, but the Fantasy Flight presentation, where they introduced all of the new Clone War Legion figures, and they introduced some new Armada ships and some X-Wing ships. And oh my gosh, it was so fun and so exciting for someone like me to be sitting there and being like, oh my goodness, they're going to bring that to the game. And so I can't wait to see what these guys have to say. So totally looking forward to that. That's on the Twin Sun stage, 5 to 6 on Friday night.
Awesome. I honestly think I could have predicted your whole list so far, just because I know you so well. That's a good thing.
Indeed.
Thing. All right, my next one is on Saturday, May 28th, from 2:30 to 3:30 on the celebration stage. Tales of the Jedi. Introducing Tales of the Jedi, animated anthology shorts hosted by Amy Ratcliffe with special guest, you may have heard of him, Dave Filoni.
Who's that guy?
Who?
This is something that it's flying under the radar, and I think that's purposeful. It means it's probably going to explode into awesomeness. But we're going to get a new animated series of shorts about different Jedi, Tales of the Jedi, and Dave is apparently a part of this. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know. We'll get a trailer. We'll get animation cells or images. But this has the makings of something really special, and I really want to be, again, in the room where it happens.
Yes.
Super cool. All right, Cory, back to you.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat what you just said on my list of Tales of the Jedi. I think because you're right, it kind of is not a bad way, but like the dark horse. I feel like it's obviously Dave Filoni's attached to it, so it's big. But like something's brewing over there. I don't know what it is. I'm excited to learn more, and of course, I love how Dave tells the stories and his passion for Star Wars, and just I don't know what to expect from this. So again, it's just a big question mark, which excites me even more. I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. It's going to be good. It's going to be very, very cool. I honestly don't know anything about it, so I love that too, because it'll be a lot of fun surprises. Tom, back to you.
So so I'm going to have to reveal my number one here because I think I have a conflict of interest, but I want to talk about both of them.
Or just pretending like we're able to do everything. So
yeah. Okay. Awesome. If I could split myself, this is where half of me would go at this time period, because I think, again, I have an incomplete list, and so I don't have everything here, but I think it's in conflict with my number one. But let's do this. I think I mentioned to you recently, Dan, that I was re-listening to the soundtrack of Attack of the Clones, and I mentioned on this show, or maybe it was Pour Over, that that I think my favorite soundtrack of all the 9 movies is Episode 2. And so I wouldn't want to miss the Attack of the Chords, the music of Episode 2 with David Collins. It's at 1:00 on the Galaxy stage on Thursday. So it'd be right after the Lucasfilm, so I guess a half hour after the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase. But it says, come celebrate the music of Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, as host David W. Collins explores the musical connections between the story and characters, breaking down both new and classic themes. I cannot perform music. It's kind of like art. I cannot make art. I'm terrible at it. I still make stick figures, but I love looking at it. Same thing with music. I'm not especially a musical person, but boy, do I love listening to music. And I love listening to someone talk about the meaning of music. Kind of like listening to you, Dan, talk about the meaning of mythology and stories and things like that. And so this would be one that I would definitely want to attend if I could.
I have that one as an honorable mention too, because I love hearing him talk about music. And, as we're recording this, it's actually the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones today. So that's pretty fun.
Nice.
My next one is one that I can't believe we haven't heard yet. It's on Saturday, May 28th from 4:00 to 5:00. Doug Chiang designing The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian production designer and Lucasfilm's vice president and executive creative director, and recent guest of Coffee with Kenobi, by the way. Doug Chiang is going to be up there talking about designing his characters, spaceships, and worlds for Star Wars' first live-action series, The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. He will share his design process and showcase rare artwork to offer insights into the Lucasfilm art department's creative process. He will reveal the challenges they face in developing memorable new characters like Grogu and the Mandalorian. Attendees will also have the chance to ask Doug their own questions.
Oh,
Cory, you're next.
Well, I'm going to repeat you once more because my number one was Doug Chiang designing the Mandalorian. That was an obvious one. That was as I was numbering these, that was the one that was instantly on my list for sure. No, it's cool because having interacted with them through our show, just through Galaxy's Edge, and just I remember. I think it was Celebration Chicago where we were walking the floor, and
it was.
I bumped into him, and it did I did like the whole. Oh, I'm sorry about bumping into somebody, and turned it when like my mind froze, my mouth froze, and he just kind of kept on walking, kind of waved, and as he did, and we kept on moving. I recognize that guy. I think I know that guy, and it's one of those like after the fact, like oh no. So that always like kind of haunted me, and I told him about that experience I had when I bumped him again at Galaxy's Edge when we did Rise of Resistance for our show. Boy, what! And I remember he told me at Rise of Resistance during that event, he said, "Come find me next time we have Celebration." I said, "Okay, I will do." So I'm excited for that panel and for him to. He's always wonderful to listen to. Just the way he tells stories, and just his process of designing and creating is excellent.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's just a good man. You've bumped into him several times. I got to talk to him for the Halcyon press stuff, and he's just so friendly, and he's just an awesome guy. I love that. All right. So that was your last one. Tom, what's your last one?
My last one, of course, is going to be the mythology of Star Wars. I wouldn't miss that for the life.
That's right.
But I think it is at the same time as Attack of the Chords. Is that correct?
Mine is at 12:30 to 1:30.
Okay, so yes, it crosses on Thursday. Yes, so
Yeah.
that crosses over, and that's just fine. Because once again, I've already mentioned it, but to hear you talking about mythology and Star Wars and tying all of that together, the hero's journey, it's fascinating. I've witnessed you in 2019 doing it. In fact, I do recall, I think, Cory, you and I ran around with microphones in that
was
session. And I'm
crazy.
I'm hoping that I get some extra steps by carrying microphones around and taking questions.
Yes. I remember that. That was, you know why? The room was so packed. It was standing room only. And I think we just the scheduling, you were supposed to have co-hosts and we just changed up on the fly. You were like, okay, we're doing this like classroom style. And you had microphones to us. You said, you guys sit over there and we're just going to start talking. And here I'm breaking a sweat trying to get people raising their hands, trying to give a microphone, but it was a blast. It really was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this time I'm going to take the right side of the room. You take the left side, Cory.
Okay, will do.
Because it's a bit smaller of a room, so I think we'll be able to manage. That'll be fun. I want
in all
take
seriousness,
pictures and just embrace it. Yeah.
Yeah, but seriously though, to listen to you talk about all that is just it's gold. So I think it's thoroughly enjoyable and well worth the time. So I will be there, sir.
Well, thank you so much. That's really cool. I really appreciate you guys' support. Yeah, I love that. And actually seeing your faces, like you guys have like the most fun, supportive, smiley faces. And I just really appreciate you both. No need to put love you on your eyelids for this one because I'll know just by your smiles.
Too late.
Written on our heart.
We got the shirts made.
Oh, beautiful. My last one is on Sunday. It's the first one from the podcast stage. And yes, I've said this before, and we've said it online. Coffee with Kenobi will not be on the podcast stage, only because it just didn't work out with my very, very active, busy schedule. I know they wanted me and the show on there, but we just couldn't get it to work out, and that's fine. We're going to be doing daily shows anyway and releasing them. So whether you're there or you're able to enjoy it from the streaming and from the comfort of your own home, we're going to bring you plenty of Coffee with Kenobi, so no worries there. But the podcast stage selection, there's a lot of our great friends. They're doing podcasts. We love them all. I'm going to highlight one from a little up-and-comer. His name's Lou Mongello.
Oh.
It's WDW Radio from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock on Sunday. On the podcast stage, he's going to have some guests. He's going to talk about the Disney parks and Star Wars, which is, of course, he's perfectly suited for that because he's one of the top podcasters on the planet. He's a great guy. It's the first time WDW Radio has been on the podcast stage. Again, that's Sunday from 11 to 12, so I am looking forward to that.
Cool.
There you go. Hey guys, honorable mentions. I've got a whole lot of them. I'll just read them off really, really briefly. I won't really go into any detail, but do you have any honorable mentions you want to bring up?
I do. Yeah. I'll kick mine off. And these were ones that like just didn't make my top 5 just for really no reason, just in the sense of fact that, I don't know, others just took their place. So Learning to Draw with Hallmark was one. And that's Thursday, May 26th, 5 to 6 on the Star Wars Kids Classroom. So I'm always interested to see what's going on there. Star Wars Original Props and Costumes, Thursday, May 26th on the Collector's Stage. The Star Wars Design, Illustration, and Arts, Education, and More on the University Stage on Friday, May 27th. And then the one that Tom mentioned, Lucasfilm Publishing, Behind the Page, on the Twin Sun stage on Friday, May 27th.
Awesome. Hey, Tom, what about you?
I just one. Well, I guess two. The Lucasfilm Publishing you just mentioned, Behind the Page, that's the nonfiction one, which I did not mention, but definitely that is an honorable. That's an honorable mention. The one that I talked about was, I don't know. Did I
a couple different publishing ones? The Marvel one.
Yeah, there are a couple different publishing ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that one.
Light and Life.
Yeah,
probably.
That was the other one. Yep. So the nonfiction one with DK Abrams, Insight Editions, and more, and then you guys have already talked about my other honorable mention, and that is the behind the scenes Mando and Boba Fett. That just looks like a lovely conversation.
Sweet.
My honorable mentions are on Thursday. The Beauty of Bad 2, The Hidden Details and Secrets of Galaxy's Edge and the Halcyon.
Oh, I saw that one.
Cool.
I forgot about that one.
That looks
Okay,
fun.
I'll write that one down too.
And then Ian McDermott from 1:30 to 2:30 on Thursday on the Celebration stage. He's an awesome guy. I had the good fortune to spend a little bit of time with him at the Rise of Skywalker premiere and talk about a lot of things besides Star Wars with him. And he's just a really charismatic individual. On Friday, Star Wars merchandise, sneak peek, Disney Parks and Shop Disney. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff from the Disney parks. That's on Friday. And then From a Galaxy Far, Far Away to a Disney park near you, which I believe you mentioned, Cory, earlier. And then let's see, what else do I have? Just one more on my little list. Star Wars Siege of Mandalore screening. And as from 1 to 3 in the Celebration stage, Dave Filoni is going to watch the Siege of Mandalore with you. And he's going to talk. It's going to be a director's commentary of him talking through the Siege of Mandalore on Sunday. I mean, it doesn't get much cooler than that. So that's on Sunday from 1 to 3. I think that's going to be spectacular.
I'm glad we made these lists because I feel like I missed these. They're like little nuggets that of gold that I don't have to review this list one more time because, like you said, Tom, what list was I going off of? I don't know. So don't sleep on some of this stuff. I mean, there's some interesting stuff out there, and if you don't get picked for some of these panels through the lottery, there's a ton of things to do. And try something new, like we said before. Like try something like, hey, that sounds interesting, or I don't know much about that. I'm gonna figure out what that's about. So there's tons of stuff too. We didn't even mention some of the makers, the creators, and all this stuff. So there's just so many things to experience and try out.
Epic, absolutely epic. Well, guys, this was great. It was great. This is our last pre-game celebration show.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild. If there's anything that happens after this, I will talk about it next Monday night on CWK Live at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Facebook page. But in the meantime, guys, this is going to be amazing because I get to hang out with the two of you and see our friends. Cory, it's been a long time since we've got to all hang out, three of us face to face, besides on the interwebs. So it's going to be spectacular. Please let everybody know, Cory, where they can reach out to you with any last minute questions or suggestions for celebration.
Yeah, if you're curious to know more about what panels will be attending or the latest, I don't know, Cubs news or Star Wars news or Marvel news, who knows what's going on. But you can catch me on Twitter at Cory Clubb, or feel free to email me, coryc@coffeewithkenobi.com.
And Tom, what about you?
Yeah, on Twitter, like Cory the Cubs and all of that on Twitter. Usually it's Star Wars and D&D, Dungeons and Dragons for me on Twitter at DraftLine. You can also catch me on the podcast Teachers in the Dungeon, where I'm co-host, and we talk about all Dungeons and Dragons things. I'm looking forward to putting on from time to time my Dungeons and Dragons lens when I'm at Celebration, because Star Wars has armor and swords and spells and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of cool to look around the Star Wars galaxy with a Dungeons and Dragons lens on. So I look forward to that and making some observations on the Teachers in the Dungeon podcast regarding that along the way. So catch me there. It's at Dungeon Teachers on Twitter, Teachers in the Dungeon on the podcast name, as well as on Facebook and Instagram.
Listening to Coffee with Kenobi, you are, with Dan Z, the podcast you're looking for. This is...
That is going to do it for this week's show. Well, actually, this is the first of many shows this week. I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to thank Tom and Cory and all of you for joining us for the Road to Celebration shows. As I just mentioned a little bit ago, it's such a big part of the celebration prep for me. I'm really grateful that all of you joined us for this fantastic ride. Love talking to those guys. Really looking forward to hanging out with them and looking forward to hanging out with all of you. And by the way, if you are heading to Star Wars Celebration or you're having some challenges still getting down there, I would suggest Go into our travel partner, MEI and Mousefan Travel at coffeewithkenobi.com/mousefan-travel. They get you a no-cost, no-obligation quote. Can help you plan your magical vacation to the Galactic Star Cruiser, Galaxy's Edge, the theme parks, the cruise lines, Star Wars Celebration, as well as last-minute plans. And you can also support Coffee with Kenobi in the process. On May 26th, speaking of Star Wars Celebration, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. No, sorry. May 26th, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time, because we're going to be in California. It's a Celebration podcast meetup at Hilton Anaheim Mix Lounge. It is for everybody who loves Star Wars podcasts. Whether you are a podcaster, a listener, a fan, whatever you are, we want to see you there. We'd love to say hello to you. You're going to be a lot of your favorite shows there. It's going to be a blast, but it won't be a blast unless you can join us. CWK Live on Monday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time at coffeewithkenobi.com/live or facebook.com/coffeewithkenobi is where you can listen to the show and participate. We're going through season 1 of Star Wars Rebels right now, and we're going to be talking about Idiot's Array for the next episode. So rewatch it on Disney+. Get your top 5 ready, top 5 things you love about that particular episode. Again, this week is Idiot's Array, and we will share your top 5s on the show. CWK Cafe has a Facebook group. Well, I guess the Facebook group is called CWK Cafe. That's what I get for talking so fast. coffeewithkenobi.com/community for Star Wars thoughts, comments, reviews, and opinions, and a family-friendly, spoiler and drama-free place. Coffee with Kenobi is possible because of the members of the CWK Alliance. Thanks to all of you. The podcast, Facebook Live, event coverage, and so much more can come to life and has for 9 years. Find out how you can help the show for as little as $1 a month by joining the CWK Alliance, and you will receive access to CWK Prover, an exclusive weekly audio and video podcast not heard anywhere else. coffeewithkenobi.com/support or coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance is where you can go to become a member. Remember that 10% of your monthly contributions will go directly to the St. Jude Children's Hospital. coffeewithkenobi.com is where you can go for Star Wars news, announcements, reviews, videos, and so much more. If you want to reach out to me, please do so at danz@coffeewithkenobi.com. You can connect with me on Twitter at Mr. Zer, MRZEHR, on Instagram at DanZerCWK, and on LinkedIn. Coffee with Kenobi is all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. You can give the show a like at facebook.com/coffeewithkenobi, or you can subscribe to the Coffee with Kenobi YouTube channel. Please take a couple of minutes to rate and review the show on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Our brand new logo is blowing up the internet. I have seen more Coffee with Kenobi t-shirts and notebooks and laptop covers and phone cases since we debuted the logo, a couple of weeks ago. coffeewithkenobi.com/shop is where you can get your t-shirt, hoodie, or whatever you're interested in today. If you want to start a podcast or a blog or are interested in expanding your brand, please go to danzymedia.com. I'm available to come to your school, your conference, your business, or organization to talk about how to tap into your strengths and help you bring out your very best. I mentioned a little bit ago, that's going to do it for this week's show, but there's going to be more shows. I'm going to have a special show coming out actually tomorrow. We're going to talk to several members of the Star Wars community who are going to be at Celebration on the exhibit hall show floor, including Steve Sansweet of Rancho Obi-Wan. Hear what's going on with him, with Tom Spina, and other surprises for you as well. Plus, with Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out very, very soon, we're going to have some great coverage of that Disney Plus series. Man, there's going to be so much, plus all the shows next week for Celebration. It's going to be very, very busy at Coffee with Kenobi, and I'm thrilled with that because I get to share these incredible Star Wars moments with each and every one of you. I will see you later in the week. Be sure to check out Coffee with Kenobi on social media and everywhere to weigh in on your opinion on all the great things that are happening. Thank you so much again for joining me, and remember, this is a podcast you're looking for. See you very soon, everyone.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no
one here. Move along.